Hello, everybody. 6 o'clock in Miami. I am Fernando Pettineroli, your host for Open House Miami, from my house, from my bedroom, actually, in the middle of this coronavirus crisis that takes over not just uh, real estate, but all our lives, and it's worldwide. And I want you to pay attention to this. What you are seeing really is not uh, Miami, it's not sunny Isles, it's not even Florida. What you are seeing is the access to the Palacio de Hielo, an ice arena in Madrid, Spain. This is a live feed from the door. The Ice Palace has been set up as an emergency morgue. And those white trucks that you're seeing are filled with the bodies of victims of coronavirus. As you all know, Europe started suffering the virus about 10 days before us. We don't want to be watching this here in 10 days. So I want from here to join the petition signed by thousands in Florida to stop all activity in Florida immediately. This is happening live in Madrid right now. This is a live feed. And you can see these are images that we never expected to see before. It brings tremendous concern to all of us, especially when we see that activity continues, construction active in the city, traffic continue active. This has been happening all day long. Trucks loading bodies to the Palacio de Hielo in Madrid, Spain. We just hope that we don't have to go through that here. Before I go to Chief Snyder, our Chief of Police in Sunny Isles Beach, that does a fantastic job, a tremendous job keeping us safe the entire year. I wanted to give a quick review on coronavirus. Right now, waiting for the update of the Florida disaster. I'm monitoring online. 3 more elderly people died on the Atria Willowwood Assisted Living Facility in Broward County in Fort Lauderdale. A total of 6 residents already died of coronavirus there. Broward County this afternoon issued a stay-at-home order demanding everyone to stay in their houses unless leaving to buy food, etc. Still a very large, very lax order. If you ask me, I have phone calls coming in. In Miami-Dade, at 11 a.m. today, we had more than 600 cases active. We're still waiting on the update on Florida disaster. Before I go with Chief Snyder, what is going to happen with mortgages in Florida? I received at least 3-4 calls in the afternoon alone. People that is either being laid off or closing their business are worried about not being able to meet the payment of their mortgages. At this moment, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the 2 largest mortgage servicers in the country, they own probably half of the mortgages. They are reducing or suspending payments for up to 12 months. And that action will cover about half of the home loans in the country. The best that you can do today, if you cannot, if you already know you won't be able to meet the payments on your mortgage. Number 1, reach your lender, try to see if you can work out some solution. I'm gonna go now through the typical solutions that are available right now. Also, have in mind that if this will be a long-term situation for you, you definitely need to put the house on the market now. Don't wait till the last minute when the market will be flooded. Right now, start talking to see who can help you. We are using my own phone number, 786-505-4007 for questions about this, for people that will have problems to meet their mortgage and need to sell. We should be cautious also about one of the solutions that the banks will start to offer forbearance. It's very complicated because, well, will require you to make a lump sum payment as soon as things go to normal, and that might be very hard for people to reach. Another solution is, and I believe most of lenders will go through that because they also charge you when they do it, is a mortgage modification. Um, some lenders are paying in establishing some sort of deferment payments. For example, Chase right now says that it's going to review loan by loan to see what kind of repayment plans, forbearance, or loan modifications can be done. Bank of America has paused all foreclosure sales, evictions, repossessions, and also says that it's working with their customers. Wells Fargo has an 800 number to discuss options with customers. It's the 800-869-3557. And TD Bank also has specialists standing by at 800-222-5522. So, but my advice, for those that we already went through the 2008 crisis, is don't wait to the last minute. If you see that you will be in danger of losing your home because of this crisis, don't wait to the last moment. Try to get out. Try to do a short sale if you will be upside down. The market is adjusting down very fast, about 20% in the first week of coronavirus. So don't wait, really. The equity that you could have right now is also disappearing, just like happening in the stock market. So take action. I have my own number, 786-505-4007, for people that need a solution to sell or short sell. We have the lawyers preparing the short sales already for people that is upside down on their mortgages. Now, I want to invite and thank you, Chief Snyder, for joining us. Welcome. How are you?
Good evening, Fernando. I'm doing fine, thank you. Again, I want to say good evening to all of your viewers who are out there, and I really want to say how much I appreciate the fact that you are spreading the message to get the word out because it's vitally important for our community, and not just for our community. This is a global problem, like you were mentioning earlier. And the last thing we ever want to see happen is what's happening in Spain or China or Italy to happen here in the United States. So you putting the word out is very, very important to all of us.
Thank you, Chief. I really like the work that you do in Sunny Isles, where we really feel safe all the time. And maybe it's unreal to feel like that safe in this complicated world that we live. And I really wanted to take your word of advice in this crazy moment, really, for all of us, in which we are all walking into an uncharted territory, in which we really don't know what the news will be tomorrow or in a week. Or we don't want to be Madrid in 10 days or Milano, places that we love, but we don't want to be them right now. So I assume that what is the map of crime right now in Sunny Isles Beach? How are we doing?
Well, actually, Sunny Isles Beach is a very, very safe community to start with. We don't have a tremendous amount of violent type of crime. What we're seeing now, we're getting a little bit more of the disturbance type of calls for service. But the fact that the city has a curfew is certainly helping, and people are abiding by that. But let me just say one thing real quick. Let's never let our guard down when it comes to crime prevention, even during situations like this, because criminals, they know no boundaries, and they'll certainly look for any opportunity to victimize people, even during a crisis like we're going through.
Yeah. Actually, we have comments online. I will invite everybody. We are live. This is 6:10 p.m. in Miami. We are live right now. Joy Goebel is asking, with the coronavirus crisis, we have seen a new wave of scams. Can you give us an idea of what to look for and avoid? What to look for and avoid?
Well, again, I think this is where everybody's common sense comes into play. Right now, the authorities and the medical industry, they don't have time to be knocking on people's doors, telling people that they're testing for corona, or door to door, or things along those lines. Anything that anybody experiences like that, thankfully, we have not had any of those in our community as of yet. But anytime something like that does happen, they need to contact the authorities, and contacting Sunny Isles Beach Police Department directly is the best way to do it. There are also some other type of possibilities where people will be receiving phone calls like they do, normally on a lot of other different type of scams. But like I said, the authorities right now are just way too overwhelmed with trying to take care of this situation than to be making phone calls to residents. So if somebody does get something like that, please take heed to it and please notify the authorities about it.
The speed of the internet. Joy Global says in Doylestown, PA, where she has relatives, scammers were targeting the elderly by knocking on doors and offering to do shopping for them. They would be so grateful. They just handed these scammers a credit card and never see it again, or the groceries.
Well, that's correct. And again, just like in our city and just like throughout the country, local governments are trying to pitch in to help our elderly, especially. But they're going to know who we are because we're going to have proper credentials, and we'll be there for them, and they're going to be the ones calling us and reaching out to us. So when they do receive that type of service from us, it's going to be legitimate.
Chief, the Broward County just this afternoon issued an order to stay home. What it would take to have that done here?
Well, it's funny you say that. As we speak right now, that amendment to the emergency order is being drafted, and it will be out. It will be out probably by the time we're finished with this conversation.
Enforcement will be provided by our police department.
Enforcement will be provided, but obviously it's going to be an educational message to start with. The last thing we want to do is, to get into confrontations where we're taking people and enforcing that. And this is going to be basically an order to stay home unless you have essential things to do. If you have to travel to and from work, or you have to go to a medical doctor, or you have to go to the grocery store to get provisions. It's just that we just don't want people randomly out walking the streets and getting themselves to a position where they're maybe exposing themselves to others.
There's more comments online. Osnat Zaken says, thank you, probably for the work that you guys are providing. That makes us all sleep better. I know this is a non-expected situation, non-planned. What we foresee in 10 days. Now, I couldn't stop watching what I was watching in Europe, in Madrid, what we saw in Milano, what we saw in China, and other videos before. Please give us some advice, even if it's from your gut, how we do to deal with this, to cope with this situation in the next days.
Well, I think it all starts with the family unit. I think, the social distancing, that's a term that we really never heard before until now. But it certainly means a lot right now. So I think just people doing the right thing, we're all in this together, and again, it's a global problem. We're all rooting for everyone, around the world to solve this problem quickly. 10 days, I don't know. I really I pray it could happen that fast, but I think we need to, continue to do what we're doing, keeping our distance and, just being responsible not only to ourselves and our families, but to our fellow citizens. And that's where social distancing, and that's where all these stay-at-home orders and curfews, this is where this all comes into play, because the more people that we have that are isolated from this virus, the faster it's going to go away.
Right now, we're actually doing very well in number of cases. At least until this morning, we only have one confirmed case in Sunny Isles Beach.
That's correct.
Is any existing? Totally out of my mind, imagination. It does exist a plan to lock the island out of the rest?
When you say lock the island down, do you mean like put up
no more traffic? Yeah.
That would probably be a worst case scenario. Obviously, we don't want to get, we want to take things a step at a time. So right now, this next step is hopefully going to be, we're going to be successful with it and people will abide by it. The other problem when you start doing blockades and things along those lines, there are people that have to commute throughout different cities, and our city is a very popular commuter roadway. So it would be something that obviously if it were to be ordered, we would certainly make it work.
Online in Facebook, Christina Sewary, that is actually one of the groups of moms that so nicely republish and helps to distribute our shows. Christina says social distancing is making people antsy and they take their children out to play with others near Winston Towers. I have seen it lowered by the people need to know we are at risk. It's not game. Yep, absolutely right.
That is correct. And social distancing, honestly, is the only, I think, real solution to this pandemic. This virus is something that travels from person to person, and the more we commingle as neighbors and friends and colleagues, even the more viable this virus is going to be.
We're in open house Miami.us with Chief Snyder live from Sunny Isles Beach. It's 6:17 p.m. and a beautiful day, but a sad day for us because we are feeling like with some big thing coming. More comments online. Soma says now USA is the first place with coronavirus. I think already surpassed Italy, right? And Iran and China in the amount of cases. Christina Seward says thank you to you. Thank you, Chief, from Christina. We're publishing all the comments that we're receiving on the site, both in YouTube and Facebook. Special care with children. We are a young community, really full of kids. And I really want to thank you. Use this opportunity to thank you the job that you guys do with our children. With something goes wrong on the bus at school or someone get lost, you guys are like right away on it, watching the children to get safe home. Special tips for parents with children right now. I'm joining here Christina on her concerns. Should they be outside? You think is it safe?
Well, what we hope for is that they will certainly abide by our stay-at-home order. And I know it's got to be challenging for parents, especially with children. There's only so much you can do, but sometimes maybe we look at this as a little bit of blessing in the fact that you actually are having time to spend with your children. We're in such a hustle bustle world. Maybe we don't get to spend enough time with our family members. So this may be a blessing in disguise, even though I'm sure it's probably frustrating for everybody, probably more so for the kids. But it's just something that we have to live through, and we will get through it, and we'll get back to normal. It's just a matter of time.
In the long time, how prepared we are in security for the long term? Let's see that we have like another maybe 2-3 weeks at least of this, or 4 maybe. Of being everybody staying home. Do we have enough people?
Currently, we are fully staffed, and thankfully, our officers and our ocean rescue personnel are healthy, and we haven't had any real issues that way. You will notice that our officers are doing a lot more social distancing themselves. You'll see a lot of high visibility on our roadways because we want people to know we're out here for them. But if you notice, if you should go by and see an officer and he doesn't get out of his car or some of those other things, that's the reason why, because we're trying to isolate ourselves as much as we can so that we can stay out here and not get ourselves infected.
Chief Snyder, just to finish, a phone number, what's the best number to call in the event that somebody needs assistance or attention from the police department in our city?
Well, for any type of real emergency, it's always going to be 911. That's the first one. But the quickest response to get to us when it's a non-emergency situation is just to call our direct communications line, which is 305-947-4440.
I'm going to put that right now. The non-emergency number, I must say that it's fantastic. The very few times I had to use it, You guys responded so quickly, and it was a pleasure to receive that kind of attention, and just for calling a number. The other thing, as before we go, I have two more questions that are coming online in Facebook and in YouTube. But before that, our homeless population grew a little bit in the last couple of years, maybe 2-3 years. And you in person came to help me to the desert when we were on the office next to Epicure several times to give us a hand yourself on that. What is going on right now? Are we having more homeless in the island? Did they left?
Well, we pay quite a bit of attention to our homeless population, and I can probably tell you the main reason why we had kind of an influx of homeless is just the fact that they feel safe here, just like hopefully the rest of our residents do. But we have a detective that specializes in homeless situations, and she's always trying to find assistance for them, and she's been very, very successful at it. And I think you probably will see that some of our homeless numbers have dropped over the last several months.
Monday, let's go to one of the comments online. Monday is after 2 weeks. Are we still mandated to remain home? I bet the question is about the next 2 Mondays, I guess, right? Monday is after 2 weeks. Are we still mandated to remain home?
Yeah, yes, you are. And again, these initiatives are throughout the state are ramping up. You know, it's safe. A lot of these initiatives are referred to as safer at home. And the reason why the numbers continue to still rise, and we're trying to, isolate as many people as we can so they do not get sick. And the more people that stay home, the better it's going to be for everyone in the long run, and the faster this thing will go away.
Larissa Svechin, our vice mayor, says, thank you to the West Police Department. Thank you, Chief, for taking the time to address the residents' life with a heart signal, with a heart emoji. So, yeah, we really have to think about it. I'm nobody, I'm just one more neighbor, one more resident, but I have to say that I feel very safe walking in my neighborhood any time of the day. And that's the work that you guys do. Very good job.
No, thank you.
Chief Snyder, thank you for coming, Chief.
Okay, Fernando, thank you again. And please, you certainly have our praise for getting the message out. It's really important. And we thank you.
Let's meet in a week to re-update, because I see that this thing is evolving faster than we can absorb. It's really going too fast. And I don't like what I'm seeing on the sites from overseas. I don't like it at all. Let's meet in a week so we can re-update, see if you need anything else, what can we do to help?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chief Snyder with us. A real pleasure to have him. We're gonna see if, let me just check if we have an update on the score on the Florida disaster website. Still didn't update it, still on the 2,355 cases, total cases in the state of Florida. Right now, one of the most affected in the country, with 616 cases confirmed only in Miami-Dade. 2 large ships arriving to Florida soon with people that is affected. They've been rejected in several countries. They have nowhere to go. And possibly they will be either entering Port of Miami or Port Everglades from here to April 5. So I just want to wish the best for you and your family. Stay home. Stay home. Don't go out. Nothing is going to happen. There's no business. Anytime soon, the constructions will stop too. And I can see now in Collins almost no traffic. Thank God, for the first time. Until now, it was traffic every day at this hour. Stay home. Stay with your kids. Tomorrow, by the way, I'm talking about kids. Brett Chambreton comes tomorrow with some advices to what to do with children, with the things we already have at home. Things that we have at home, how to make art with them, keep them at least 1 hour of the day off the tablet, 1 hour of the day off the computers, off the screens. Tomorrow, Chen will be here with us. I have another comment online before I go. Natalia Sample, we love you guys. I bet this is for the police department. This is not for me. So the message is in. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you to everybody that participated. Feel free to contact us if we can help you out. All the best for you guys. Stay safe. Stay at home. Again, stay at home. And if this was of any help, just please share and subscribe. We're trying to grow our base a little bit in English too, as much as we did in Spanish. Question 4 about the mortgages. Okay, is the VA doing anything about mortgages like the other companies? Joy, that I know, not yet. I haven't seen any communication from the VA about it, but I'm sure they will be taken care of. It would be terrible if the veterans are not taking care of this situation. At least they should give them a year of stop payments, deferment or something like that, so they don't need to suffer any of this crazy thing, especially our veterans that we care so much about it. So, Natalia, you guys are doing always an amazing job. Well, thanks, Natalia. I'm sure this is for the police department. But anyway, thank you. So without more, 6:26 p.m., end of another day. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m. with Chen Breton, our fantastic local artist, paintingpicnic.com, with some good ideas to spend some time with the kids while we are inside. I know you have 2 or 3 kids at home. I have 3. We're all going crazy. So hope this one will decompress a little, help us get some air, some easy things to do at home without going crazy. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay at home.